Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is JGOD. In today's video, we're going to take a look at some subscriber gameplay and give different tips and tricks along the way on different things that maybe they're doing well and maybe things that they can improve upon so that we as a community can get better by watching these types of videos and kind of improving on these individual things that we see in our own gameplay. So what we're going to do is kind of go through the individual gameplay. Hopefully, if I miss anything, you guys will comment that down below, being as constructive as possible. Any kind of toxic comments are just going to get deleted. So let's go ahead and get into gameplay. If you do enjoy this type of video, make sure you hit the like button. I do have a goal on today's video, 1,000 likes. If you're brand new looking to find your way back for more Modern Warfare content, make sure you are subscribed with those notifications on by ringing that bell. So first thing here, nothing crazy. This is an unnamed area. They're going right for the scavenger. So this is a decent drop. A lot of times in trios and quads, if you landed an unnamed area that actually has an okay amount of loot, but not like too much loot, then a lot of times you're going to be very uncontested. And they've kind of done the safe route here. Land, get a couple weapons, a little bit of RNG in there because of whatever you get on the floor loot. And they've already started the scavenger. So this is an okay start in the zone. Not necessarily where I would land if I was trying to get a couple kills on landing, but that's just kind of how it goes. And it looks like the zone started a little bit empty as well. It didn't start with the full trio of 150. So that's kind of a little bit of light zone. That happens too. I've been in lobbies where it starts the match with like 108 people, which is kind of how the servers go. But that kind of helps too because it can be a little bit less crowded. They have enough money to get their loadouts, 11K, 4K, and 6K. I've done a couple of the solo ones. If you want to check those out, those are going to be part of this particular playlist. So you can go ahead and check those out if you're looking for more solo tips and tricks. This is the first time I think I'm covering a trio gameplay. We're going to kind of talk a little bit about the game style is a little bit different when you're playing with multiples of the 3 or 4. Armor plates, because they didn't really get a full loot. There's probably plenty of armor plates in here, but that's still an okay buy. UAV. Good start so far. And this is pretty much how you want to start. Probably I would say 99% of your matches. You land, you get your basic gun, you get a scavenger done, and then basically you get your loadout. So we're actually going to talk about this part right here. I have the loadout up there on the screen, and I'm going to end up showing you what that looks like in game. And this is probably one of the biggest issues with the loadout. If you're struggling to win matches, it's probably because your loadout isn't all that great. It looks like the weapon is fully leveled for their primary M4, so they should have a best class setup for the M4, no questions. Looks like they're still leveling the MP5, so there's a little bit of reasoning there why it's not fully maxed out. So it's okay, you're kind of stuck with certain attachments, that's perfectly fine. But if your weapon is fully leveled out, a 71, you should have a really good class setup. So right here we have the class setup. And you can see it's fully leveled up on there, and they're using either a tactical suppressor and a monolithic. Tactical's okay, I guess, but it's going to slow down your aim down sight speed. That's pretty much it. About as even with the monolithic, but the monolithic at least gives you a little bit of range on top of it. The big issue here is this barrel. If you're going to go with an MP5 as your secondary, that means that you have an SMG for close quarters. There is zero reason to ever run this barrel on the M4. Just in my opinion, there's pretty much no reason unless you're just playing hardcore pubs and you want the faster aim down sight speed so you have a little bit more snappy aim. The only two barrels you should ever run in Warzone with the M4 is the M16 or the Corvus Custom. That's it. Those are your only two options. Those other options do not exist. They should never exist, and you should never use them. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then obviously with the MP5, you have a low level weapon, so there's not really much choice there. You are using a tactical suppressor, it looks like. Monolithic could be a good way to go. You can go with the monolithic integral. You are using the FSS light, which decreases your bullet velocity, which decreases your range. So you're more likely to have hit reg issues because it's not going to necessarily feel like hit scan. So that's just a little bit of what I want to talk with the class setup. So they call in the UAV. No one's pretty much on there close by. There are people towards the edge. You can see one of his teammates marked it, the orange. It gets kind of grainy in and out because it's the quality of 720p. Nothing I can do about their gameplay. Obviously, mine is going to be in 1440p because that's what I record at. So right here, you can see there is a group there, Storage Town. Let's see how they decide to approach this because they got to go all the way around the building. And then there is a solo out there by the orange marker. Normally, you're going to try and head towards the solo because maybe they already had team screaming there, so a couple of them died. And they're going to be a low man. And that guy's probably trying to loot up, try and buy back his teammates. So I would definitely go to the orange marker. If you're trying to go for kills, then you go to the people at storage because you know it's a full 3-person party there, and you can go ahead and kind of jump in and at least have some gunfights where you're going to end up with some kills. Currently, they're sitting at 0 kills with 71 players left. You can see the movement's pretty decent. Despite the class setup, he's actually moving around pretty well. As far as his description, he says he plays on a 5.5 sensitivity, which is what I play on, so that's perfectly fine if you're able to hit your shots. We still haven't seen a gunfight, so we don't know how accurate they are. They've been playing Call of Duty for the past 10 years, so obviously they have some comfort with the aim, movement, and different mechanics like that, and they're just trying to improve. They mainly play trios, so this might be their group of friends. I don't hear any comms. They are marking a lot of stuff. Maybe they talk in Discord, as a lot of YouTubers tend to do. They just talk in Discord, so it's clean your comms. And then he started with playing multiplayer. He has a 1.14 in multiplayer and a 1.11 in Warzone, so relatively even. And that's pretty much that part of the bio portion. So let's kind of see how this pours out. What ends up happening is when you have a UAV out, you should almost never need your heartbeat sensor because the UAV does that. And it's going to give you the same intel because Ghost, if they have Ghost, they're hidden on the heartbeat sensor and the UAV. So there's no real point in actually using both. It's not a cold-blooded type thing. It's Ghost and Ghost only. So they do notice somebody. These guys already have loadouts. Yeah, they didn't pop up on the UAV. So they definitely have loadouts. So this is a risky revive. He's going for it. He's sticking it. How is he? Why would he? Whoa. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at this gunfight all over again. So obviously if you spot someone, they're going to have Ghost. He ends up seeing them right here on this right side. Kind of towards the middle, actually. There's a guy right there. Right at the edge of the front of the vehicle here. There's 3 of them. He marks them. Teammate snipes him. Yeah, this just ends up being poor decision making. His teammates are trying to fight and he pulls out his heartbeat sensor. The UAV already went. You know where they're at. They have all Ghost. All 3 of those guys had Ghost because they didn't pop up on the mini map. And then you have one guy further out here on the map that does not have Ghost or maybe not have their loadout. But these guys definitely have their loadouts. And they're running Ghost for their first class setup. They don't have Overkill because obviously they're not showing up, and they probably didn't buy 2 loadouts in the time that these guys bought 1. So now that happens, you got to challenge this. You got to peek out and try and down one. You have to win these gunfights because what ends up happening, you're just getting outnumbered. Now you have a teammate down, and you go for the revive without actually feeling like this guy is safe here. They end up killing your teammate. You run with your back towards the enemy. This is really like big mistakes here. Huge. These are just huge mistakes. I wouldn't even consider this like, you got to win this gunfight. Because basically all of you die here. Got shot in the back. Your teammate's reviving there. You could have stopped this guy. The way he jumped around the corner, aiming. Yeah, that was a good player. That was probably a good team. And they steamrolled your guys because you guys just played that really poorly. So we won the Gulag. 2 out of the 3 won the Gulag. And now they're coming back in. And they got to buy back their teammate with no cash. So they're going to end up having to get this scavenger. So they've already got a little bit of money. They ended up buying back their teammate just from looting. Now let's see how they rotate in. There is a free loadout drop. They died early enough that there is one very close and probably conveniently for them to get. Probably could be people on top of this building. You got to worry about that when you're rotating. There's something inside the bus. There it is. Got it. There it is. P90s. Actually a good floor loot weapon. If you had to choose something, usually it's going to be the P90, the MP5, and then probably the Uzi are like the top 3 for me. Because they don't really have the MP7 really all that common in Florida. So he ends up getting the exact same class setup again. There's a vehicle rotating around. Got to get this cash though, so maybe you can get some more plates, UAV, something like that. Overall, the first part of the match was actually a pretty decent start. It's just it really went wrong at the airport. When they went up there, they just got completely destroyed by a better team, primarily because of positioning. There it is. Looks like a teammate destroyed it. Cool. So now they're loaded up. They got stacks of cash. One of them go down. They can buy each other back. They can get self-revived. UAVs. There's a lot of stuff. So here's the truck. There it is. He's on the left side.
I'm going.
It's okay to look at your heartbeat sensor, but it's clear that he's very reliant and in the habit of using it more often than using their eyes, which tells me they might not have played a lot of other BRs. I know that even people that have played a lot of BRs, they'll use a heartbeat sensor, but not nearly as often as he is using it. So that could be kind of his crutch, and you got to be a little bit more aware of your surroundings. Teammate pushed a little bit further off. It looks like he's going in for that bounty.
Eliminate the bounty target.
Move it.
I'll take care of it.
Sniper rifle here.
Okay, they're marking it. Cool mark. Coming back through. The other thing you can do is go into your audio settings. I'm remembering it now, but when you came in on the plane, you got to just turn off all music. I heard music when I was coming in. A lot of times late game, that music could be very distracting because it changes the overall tempo to try and amp you up and stuff like that. But it's actually very distracting, especially when you're in the final zone and you need to make sure you hit your shots and you need to pay attention to what's going on around you, whether it's audio or whatever the case is. So, probably going to buy a UAV. There it is.
Request flyover.
There's a guy right there.
This way.
Enemy UAV overhead.
His teammate should have a good shot at taking him down.
Enemies here.
Is he in the bus? Looks like he's in the bus. He got beamed. Dang, their bounty already took off pretty far. They kind of took off all the way across the map. Let's see how they handle this. Switch to the MP5. Oh, it skipped ahead. Sometimes that's a recording how it is on PS4. You just capture it. Sometimes it'll skip ahead a couple seconds. But the guy is clearly upstairs. See if he gets him. Guy should be on this side.
Check your damn fire.
Well, he's right up here.
Heading this way.
You're losing your opportunity.
Losing ground.
Did the guy jump off?
Scrub the contract.
Took way too long. The guy took off. Your teammate was even spooked by you. Yeah, there's no even reason to use the heartbeat sensor in this case. Like, look. This building right here, I mean, is probably beyond the edge. You just called a UAV. There's only people on the other far side. So it's kind of odd to keep using the heartbeat sensor. There's like literally no reason to use it. It's definitely a crutch. He has 101 damage, which is basically the one guy in the gulag. And he probably hit the other guy with a rock. So he has no game damage to players in the game currently. Yeah, it's like the heartbeat sensor. Way too much. These guys are waiting way too long to rotate. Because when you looked at the UAV, there was people on top of train station. And odds are those people are going to gatekeep. So you kind of taking way too long to rotate. You're going to be forced into rotate, and those guys are going to try and third party. Some of the awareness, maybe they've played tons of multiplayer, and they're very new to the BR, because there's a lot of more newbie BR things that they're doing here, as far as rotation and how they're looking around and how they're utilizing gear and equipment. So you're obviously going to show up on the UAV because you have overkill. You didn't get overkill in the first class and then swap to the Ghost. So cool, rotate it in. Now you know they got to rotate across. That gun kicking a lot.
Here I go.
Friendly UAV overhead.
There they are. They got to rotate in. You're on a heady. They should be on this right side. Right here. On this right there. Easy kills. Some guys close. Got the C4. Cleaned them up. Good stuff. Came out of nowhere with that. I did not expect that. From how they were playing so far, I definitely didn't expect that.
Gas is inbound.
But it's nice to see that they were actually able to pull that off. But definitely would have been a little bit better suited with a different M4 class. Ooh, they got the strike. See, this team's gatekeeping over here, right on top of train station. Teammate didn't mark it. There they go. I was about to say, I was like, they're shooting, but they didn't mark anything yet. So now they got to rotate pretty far all the way to the other side of the zone. Kind of where they started, airport. That's kind of funny.
Here I go.
And they're running out of time too, because 14 seconds and they have to rotate. I mean, they're going on the smaller side, trying to cut it down, trying to break his little bit of his movement, so he doesn't get beamed by those people.
Gas is inbound.
But yeah, here's the problem with rotating that far late. I already anticipated those people would be an issue, and it turns out that they ended up being an issue. And then now look at the gas. It's moving pretty quickly because it's a full stretch. You're still going to be able to outrun it. Teammate, I don't know what the heck happened to them. They just decided to die? It makes no sense to me. He's got to down himself so they could buy him back. Okay, I thought they were going to try and work their way to the buy station quicker. Well, you know these people got to jump up, rotate off. They're going to gatekeep. EOD. Ends up pulling off. Luckily, he was able to hit a couple shots there. You didn't get the kill. Why are you running away? Oh my god, you're like, you have to be looking back. You would have been shot in the back by any competent player. Okay, they do have a UAV that helps with the rotation. Superstore is going to be pretty contested. Storage Town will likely be the better bet. You only got to worry about Pool House. So there's probably someone in here. So I'd be cautious with this. Heartbeat sensor this. No, you don't need a heartbeat to get out of UAV. So it's pretty clear. People could be camping in the fire station though. Taking way too long. Where are you going? Oh my god. That's where you saw people at. So I would have avoided that if you're trying to just res your teammates safely. It is very indecisive. Okay, they're working back to the buy station I said. Someone could be on top of pool. Someone could be in storage. But a lot of times if they're here, you can kind of get to cover. Versus Superstore, likely someone can gatekeep the roof there. They brought his friend back. Buy plates. You need plates. Just double checking the surroundings. That's a good call. But still should have bought plates. Teammate bought them for him. That works out. His teammate died. So a lot of times what happens on re-entering is your teammates will try to go directly to the loadout. You know that your team is rotating that way anyways. So what you could do as a teammate, you could just stay in the air, hover, while your team rotates in, and you could be providing those eyes and marking people for your team. Or you land with your team and they rotate in with your pistol, and then they help you get that loadout. And it turns out that they're able to just walk right out to this loadout. When I skimmed through to just check the class setup, I was able to see him get up to this loadout. Oh no, he just broke his ankles on landing there. So he just didn't even deploy his chute. I hear gunfire on the left. Could be coming from airport still. Yeah, his teammate just got down from falling. Oh, yeah. So here's where I think they switched to their ghost class. So he picks up a class that has the UAV. Not the UAV. He picks up a class that has ghost. And then picks up his MP5. There he is. So he has the same class setup that we've seen, but now he has the ghost perk. So when it comes to rotation, this is a little bit tricky. This building is pretty okay. This one's okay here. This one's going to be a little bit of a shack, so that's not really all that good because you can just get RPG'd in there, get completely destroyed. This is going to be a bus. This is just a little bit of a sign. So you could rotate on this side because there is a little bit of cover. And there's a wall here. You can kind of go up, but these people will still have the high ground. This is one of the sketchier spots is this spot right here. So we'll kind of see how it plays out. No more buy stations in the zone. This is the last buy station, this one here and this one here. So you can kind of imagine that there's 3 teams rotating from the corners, including them. So here, corner, corner, and then basically a triangle. That's where most of the teams are going to be. And that counts for 3 of the teams. And there's going to be 2 other random teams left.
Enemy UAV overhead.
So this is where you got to be really focused. 4 teams and 11 players. So they're mostly 3-player teams that have been able to do their thing. He's buying some plates, hopefully. There it is. Let's check out how they rotate in. This wall's good cover. There he is. He marked them. If you had the long barrel on, I'm pretty confident you could challenge that.
Nearly done.
The shorter barrel, not so much. His teammate was actually able to take care of him or no? Kind of hard to see the kill feed. 720p is a little rough. But obviously, people, when they submit their gameplays, they don't have all the fancy recording equipment. If you don't have a Pro or a Xbox One X, you're not going to get those HD quality. Landed a couple bullets there. He's going to go for the revive right away. And
Five remaining.
how does he die so quick? That was kind of weird. Get him the gas mask, going for a play. Good play. Good play. Much better with his MP5 that he hasn't even fully leveled up. Because obviously it's close quarters, so it kind of cancels a lot of his deficiencies. Somebody's landing there.
I'll go.
They probably just got bought back on that buy station. That was in the corner, closing in. They got a good zone here. It's a 2v3 here. They're sniping, and one of them doesn't have a loadout. They got to rotate over. Ooh.
There's an airstrike inbound.
Get your ass up.
Oh, he called in his strike. That's good. Is he going to get any kills here? His teammate might need plates. Let's see if his teammate plates up. His teammate's plating. These people have to rotate. I would have waited maybe to call in that precision airstrike once you see them cutting across. So you could call it on them so they have to move. One right up here. Oh, you guys are running out in the open. You didn't have to lose your cover. That was risky. If it's going to probably pay off. Oh, it skipped when it needed. Oh, it skipped. Well, they ended up getting the win. This cover would have been ideal right here. Yeah, that was a little rough. It ends up being an average game for most players. When I broke down my gameplays, saying what the average kills is right around 6 or 7, and it's around 8 for solos. So not a horrible game. This is an average player with a 1 KD. So this is what a lot of players that you're running into lobbies with are actually playing like. There was a lot of good plays. They're clearly more comfortable with the MP5 than they were with the M4. They definitely got to change up the class setup. That class setup is just terrible. So comment down below if you thought I missed something. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the like button. If you're brand new, looking to find your way back for more of my content, make sure you are subscribed with notifications on. Appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.